Check, check. That was our funny and lighthearted films block. I would like to invite Rollyn and Evelyn should be in the audience somewhere. And we also have a guest via Zoom as well. I'm sure I will butcher her name horribly. Merve, I believe, is the maker of Steve and Steve, the stop-motion animated film that we saw a little while ago. Welcome back, Rollyn, and hello, Evelyn. Thank you so much for taking the time to come down and join us at the Klamath Independent Film Festival.
Thanks for having us.
And quick sound check to make sure. Merve, are you hearing me okay? We can hear you. Fantastic. Tech is still working. Yay! All right. I keep saying that because we've had issues. Every year we've tried to do a hybrid festival, and somehow, some way, outside of a few very minor glitches, we've had an almost error-free festival. So this has been one. We've even been on time, which is unheard of. Roland Stafford is no stranger to our film festival. He previously has had a feature film in 2020, One Dead Dog. Last year, he was our Northern Shorts winner for the film Zombie Walk. And now back again with yet another zombie film. Thank you, Roland, for being here. And Evelyn over here, you will recognize from the film It's a Little High Up. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I'm sorry, I'm sure I will butcher it. Is it Merve? Okay. Thank you so much for joining us via Zoom. Merve is the director of Steve and Steve, the stop-motion animated film. We're hoping that maybe Alberta Poon can join us as well, the maker of Crouching Comics. She hasn't jumped on the call yet. Alberta's film was entirely an Asian American crew, and except for the one white actor on the fridge, an entirely Asian cast, and she was incredibly proud of that. So, Roland, first of all, welcome back in person. And having two films in the festival, you're one of several filmmakers that had two in the festival. Back again with a zombie film, but we need to talk about the Easter egg.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we do.
Yes. Some of you may have noticed in the background on the second film, the last film that we watched, Zombies Like to Watch, a familiar logo, if you noticed on our programs in the upper right, a very familiar logo was there. You included a Klamath Independent Film Festival in your poster. Now, normally I would think this is pandering to get your film into our festival, but it's already gone to a bunch of other festivals, right? So why did you put our poster in your film?
Okay, well, honestly, I needed some set deck, and I really liked that poster. It was done by a company called Creepy Duck Design. They're based in Ireland, and the guy is very good. And I really liked the poster, but the only poster I happened to have was the one that you guys gave me the year before the Klamath Independent Film Festival. So that's the one I decided to use. And yeah, maybe it was pandering a little bit, but it's still a great looking poster up there. I'm very proud it's there, and yeah, maybe pandering a little bit, but I think it looks good. I mean, and I think it's a good, saying, hey, look, another zombie movie for Klamath Independence.
Right. Yeah. At least you're throwing our logo in because we took your zombie film the year prior.
I'm trying to support you.
Oh well, okay, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you. And then Evelyn, I believe this is your first time to our festival, correct?
Yes.
Thank you for making the trek down. And certainly you know this guy well, not only from that film, but I understand both of you are in the same acting group or acting classes. So you two have known each other for a while. So how did you get involved with Rollins Film, It's a Little High Up?
Well, it definitely wasn't the first film I was involved in. I was actually in all the other films that have shown here. This might be my first time in person, but I was at least on the screen the other times. And yes, It's a Little High Up was done as part of our acting class that we usually do every Monday night, which is a lovely Portland community, the Actors Lab. Is Marty still here? Yay! And yes, they did a kind of a film contest festival. And the only parameters was that it was a 3-minute long film and it had to be done with an iPhone or some kind of smartphone. And so that was our submission. Yeah, we just filmed it in one afternoon and it was fun.
So where did the concept for it come from? Just out of necessity? We have an afternoon. I don't know. Let's figure something out real quick.
Well, there was a theme. The theme that we were assigned was saints and sinners, and we had to make something out of that. Luckily, the cool story is, though, that where we shot, that is Dave Dahl's former condo. Some of you might know Dave from Dave's Killer Bread. That's his condo, which he's trying to sell for $3 million if you have some spare change available and you want to buy it. It's a nice place on the 27th floor in Portland. But I asked his assistant, who I'm friends with, like, can we use his place? Like, yeah, sure, just don't break anything. So we got to shoot in this $3 million condo, for 4.5 hours. And just the most worrying was, like, thought we'd break something, right?
Someone in the festival earlier asked me if that was my place.
You wish, right?
Wow.
Well, property values being what they are in Portland, an actor can certainly, afford a place like that with like a 20th floor view.
We can dream.
As a reminder to our audience as well, we have a microphone there and a microphone there. So if you have a question for our filmmakers, please by all means step up and you'll get a chance to interact. And let's talk about Steve and Steve for a minute. I love stop motion animation. I love the look of it, the art behind it, but as a filmmaker, I have no patience for it at all. Even something that was only, maybe 3-4 minutes long. How many photos would you estimate went into the making of Steve and Steve? I love the look, but that's way more work than I would ever want to do. So kudos to anyone who puts the time in. But that's actually your job, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but you actually work for Leica Studios, correct? So you work on building the sets for all of the amazing Leica films, and you were like, you know what, screw it, I want to torture myself even more, and let me just make my own on top of that. Let's talk about Zombies Like to Watch a little bit in terms of the concept. Now, I know you are not a zombie exclusive filmmaker, but you've certainly had themes to your films. The concept for Zombies Like to Watch, where did it? This can't be entirely based on a true story, but
well, it actually is. All my work is like 90% autobiographical. I was dating a girl at the time, and she did have a particular kink, and yeah. Do you want me to elaborate? It's pretty much what
Yes.
you see in the film. To his credit, the guy's name was actually Ben, but she was. Do you really want me to go into this? I mean, I can.
Yes.
Okay. She was living with her ex at the time, and it was a good date, and I had to ask myself the question, like, did I really care? How bad did I want this date to go well? And honestly, I didn't care. So,
okay.
Yeah, you asked.
Right. Well, and I do love the makeup in this. Your film last year, Zombie Walk, was one of our award winners. The concept of it, for those who didn't join us last year, was post-apocalyptic Portland. A pet needs to go for a walk, which if you've had a dog, we've all need to do that, but your pet is a zombie instead. Really great makeup in that film, and in this one too. So who's your secret weapon for all this zombie makeup?
Well, that guy is a wonderful, wonderful makeup artist out of LA called Kenneth Calhoun, and he also did the makeup for One Dead Dog. He spent about 2-3 hours working on Zach in those 2 mornings. And if you notice, Zach was actually played my zombie in Zombie Walk. as well. But because of COVID in 2020, I had him do his own makeup, so we'd have less risk. But 2021, things lightened up a little bit, and Kenneth felt comfortable enough coming and working on Zach, and he did an amazing job. I love his work all the time. Yeah.
Looks like we have a question over here. Yes?
Yeah, I have a question for Merve. So I'm interested with the what sort of is your process? Like, do you do a full like storyboard, or do you sort of just let the creativity go? And as well as, I'm interested if you have sort of a time estimate on how long it took you to sort of develop it, or just to shoot it all.
That's a great question. So I started with a script, and then I usually make storyboards based on the script, and I then combine those storyboard frames with animatic, which is basically preview of the whole film. So when I start shooting, I actually take that animatic and divide it into shots and list them. So I actually know exactly what I'm going to shoot. Like we were talking a minute ago, that is kind of a, I don't know, it requires some sort of planning to kind of, there's going to be a lot of expectations coming into it, so you kind of want to know like exactly what you're going to do. And then once I have the shots, I basically replace those shots that are in the animated with the actual shots, and then I finish them and actually have them moved. And the whole process takes usually, I think it took me 6 months to film to that CNC, and then it was like a year of preparation before that. I worked with a character designer, she was local Morton, and then I think pretty much the rest was me making small little just kind of.
6 months to a year. That's why I don't want to do stop motion animation. Evelyn, Rollin, and I can make a film in a day. So let's get back to, it's a little high up, because you said this was a 1-day film project, but it ends on a cliffhanger. You know, you've got the angel and devil kind of dichotomy going on with it, with the saints and sinners theme. What happens to these characters? You give kind of a little smirk, and will we have a part 2 to this, or is it just kind of left for us to decide how it all plays out?
You have to understand, we had 3 minutes, only 3 minutes to make this movie. That included credits. So I always like to end movies on hopefully a positive note. And I like the cliffhanger idea of like, oh, what's going to happen to these two next? Maybe they'll meet each other down the road in something, a sequel or a feature, or
Fund the feature and find out.
Hey, Evelyn, you'd mentioned that you've worked with this gentleman several times before. What are some of the other projects that you two have collaborated on?
I can name them all.
Yeah, I'm like definitely One Dead Dog, Zombie Walk, Zombies Like to Watch, A Little High Up. I was in a tiny part of Road to Bob.
Which we also showed here at the Klamath Film Festival.
Let's see, what else?
That's most of them, I think.
Yeah, I'm like, what else have you done?
Evelyn and I actually met 6 years ago as stand-ins on the TV show The Librarians. And that's how she was Rebecca Romaine's stand-in, and I was Christian Kane's stand-in, and we became instant friends, and we've just sort of been friends and helping each other on our projects ever since.
Terrific.
We do actually have another feature coming out that is basically just Roland and I wandering around, talking about things.
As zombies?
There
are zombies in the movie, but we'll definitely be submitting next year.
Yeah, so we do have an upcoming project too. That's another one of the things we've done together. But
I would love to talk about the theme of Steve and Steve. You know, the look of it is very cute and very kind of simplistic in nature, but maybe I'm overthinking things here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a really unique theme to it in that this world that Steve and Steve are in is completely homogenized and everyone is the same and identical. And oftentimes in our society, it's real easy for us to say, why doesn't everyone think like I do? Whether it's politically or religiously or any sort of other cultural issues, like everyone else should think exactly like me. And yet, if everyone looked the same, dressed the same, thought the same, acted the same, how boring would our world be? And I appreciate that you created that and put that on film. Was that the intentional theme, or am I just way overthinking things with this cute little animated thing?
No, that's pretty much what it is, and that's a really good take on it, actually. I can kind of talk about how it came up, and that's gonna kind of, I guess, put into
Sure.
the theme. So we met Charlie, the scriptwriter, at like a screenwriting lab thing, and he had this script, like he wrote it like many years ago, I think when he was in college, if I remember correctly. And it was played as a theater in some festivals, and he wanted to turn it into an animation short, animated short, and he was looking for someone to animate it, and then we started talking, and he gave me the script. So the story of Charlie is he worked all his life, like 40, 50 years in healthcare insurance industry. But back when he was in college, he always wanted to be theater or film. So now that he retired, he turned back to his passion, and now he's writing his scripts, and he made a couple other short films. So when we connected with the script, I resonated so much because I worked the first officer in Chicago. It's just like I was actually designing a script back then, and I put Turkey, and I did that work when I was in Turkey, and I always wanted to find some sort of K-drama that I can discover, and I eventually ended up in stop motion film, which was kind of perfect for me, what I exactly wanted. So we both had this kind of, like, I guess I was a version of him that actually kind of took it from that, like, white collar, uninteresting area to do something that is kind of for my passion. So the script is kind of, and the short film is kind of basically talking about that with guys there, and they have this like 96 job. They think they're unique because they're wearing those like orange sparkle shorts, but they think they definitely kind of move, but then it reveals that they're both wearing the same thing. So it's kind of, I guess, questioning like what makes us unique, or why we think that we unique, and how that we can find those parts in our lives.
Fantastic. I believe we have a question over here.
Yeah, it's kind of in line with the same topic of the animation. The cutout animation is very specific, and I'm just wondering if you were inspired by like Yuri Norstein's work at all.
No, I'm not familiar with.
Oh, okay. Like Hedgehog in the Fog was a big one in Russia, and it was that cutout style.
It all also kind of looks like early South Park, too.
That's also true. Thank you.
Yeah, I love the style though. Andy Kim was someone that I'm inspired of. He uses like different kinds of, I mean, he has like cutout stuff. He has cutout puppets in like actual sets, and also he makes like origami kind of puppets and uses them in stop motion. Yeah, I think it's really kind of simple, but kind of thing that it's coming.
It's an interesting look for sure because it's a 2D stop animation, but at Leica, you are working with physical puppets and physical sets, but having paper cutouts that you're manipulating. How different of that within the stop motion animation world is that from the type of work that you do with your regular day job with Leica?
Yeah, it's much simpler. That was, I guess, my thought process when I was trying that, because when like the kind of sets and like this kind of feel three-dimensional, like model, I guess I could say. So it's kind of, it requires much more extensive time. It's a different style, I guess. It's just kind of about, I mean, in this case, it was just, I thought it was, the difficult stuff could be more like appropriate for the theme. So like, it was, I guess I was just thinking like staff papers and office or whatever. So I felt like that could be a better choice, and I had some kind of limitation, so I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So that's why I kind of went in that direction.
And Rollyn, we need to point out that we have this weird, like almost like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon thing, very meta aspect to our festival this year. Because you shouted out before, I think it was yesterday, you were saying a film that we showed, like I've shot a film there previously, and then just a little while ago we showed a film that had the same actor that you had in Zombies Like to Watch was also appearing in another film. We've had another actor that was in 2 films. So that cast together, I guess just Portland actors get around a lot, but on productions, get work where you can. But bringing your crew together for Zombies Like to Watch, working with that actor. Did you know he was also in Cosmo's film?
No, I had no idea. I think it's great. I was so happy to see him. I was like, Sean! And it made me so happy. And it's great to see people that we know, like Sean and Dan. Dan and Kyle, also in our acting class. And Sean used to be in our acting class. And so was Jenny Jen, the actor you see up there. But it's wonderful to...
And a lot of people in Marty's movie as well.
Yes, everyone in Marty's movie almost.
Oh yeah, we had one of the co-stars of One Dead Dog was playing the lawyer in Marty's film too.
Yes, Daniel Timothy Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lovely acting community and filmmaking community in Portland that I am personally so grateful for.
I
And you can
recognized
definitely see it all over these films.
Yeah. I recognized Shelley Lipkin in that film as well, and he had a film in last year's festival. So
I just like to point out that I auditioned for Marty's movie a long time ago, and I didn't get it. Just fun fact for IMDb credit. Yeah, now you know why.
the ultimate revenge. Yeah, if Roland shows up with an eye patch and a microphone inside, Marty, run. Thank you, Jeremy. We have just a couple minutes left here before we get to our very final block of the film festival. We have 3 films left, and then we get to our awards. But I want to make sure that all 3 of you get a chance to chime in with your overall thoughts of your film in our festival and what you hope that people take away from seeing your film. Evelyn, do you want to start?
I just hope people laugh with these ones. I think a lot of folks have been saying there's, so many heavy things out in the world right now, in the media and everything that, it's nice to have a little bit of a breather.
So that's why we put it as a funny and lighthearted shorts package. So, Roland, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think I could have said it better. It's good to see funny films now and then, and also, I guess, don't judge people on their fetishes. I guess it's just be open to people. I guess that's the message you can take away from Zombies Like to Watch.
No kink shaming.
No kink shaming, and zombies are people too.
And I will note that not all of our screeners and judges noticed the poster, but those that did were very adamant, like, are we going to accept this? Like, does this disqualify? Because it's very blatant pandering here. Putting he's submitting the film to the festival that has the poster of the festival in it.
If I had the poster without the KIFF logo, I probably would have used
It would have still ended. Okay, then I will tell the judges who had a problem with that. Then that is our reasoning.
Well,
for
they've
it.
already made their decision, so it's...
Yeah, I should probably say he was definitely talking more about just promoting One Dead Dog.
Oh yeah,
that too.
But Roland, on behalf of the entire Klamath Film Board of Directors and all of our volunteers. We appreciate the free publicity.
You bet. You betcha.
And Merve, what do you hope that people take away from seeing Steve and Steve?
Yeah, I also hope that they will just enjoy their life and also maybe question what they say.
Well, thank you so much for joining us virtually. We wish you could have been here, but we totally understand. You know, work beckons, and stop motion animation is very, very, very laborsome. So, congratulations on your film, and congratulations you two on your 2 films, and for you, your 1 film. And thank you for joining us for the first time at the Klamath Independent Film Festival. I hope this has been a fun experience.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
We have 3 more films. We have shown 36 made in Oregon films so far. So we will end our festival with 3 more. We have Vlad and Nick by Taylor Morton, who, like Rollyn, is no stranger to our festival. We have shown his film The Last Blockbuster. We have shown his film Pick It Up Ska in the 90s, El Tute Grande. And last year he had a short called Cooped Up. And this year he has a short called Vlad and Nick. We also have a very funny documentary about a theater troupe in Ashland that made a musical called Cthulhu the Musical. Immediately I was intrigued and I looked at tour dates. They have a date in Ashland coming up next month. So if tickets are not sold out and you enjoy what they do, check that out. And then Shane Anderson, who had a feature film yesterday, also has a short film that we will be closing out our festival with called Bring the Salmon Home. We'll do a short Q&A with those filmmakers and then give us a minute or 2 to kind of reset all of our tech, and we will do our awards. Our awards are done by the Southern Cascade Woodcrafters Guild, which is a local arts group of incredible artists that do unbelievable things with wood products. And a couple years ago, because we are the Made in Oregon Film Festival, we were trying to think of ways that we could enhance that, improve that. I thought, well, why don't we make our awards out of wood? And because I was, at the time, the arts and entertainment journalist for our local newspaper, I knew exactly who to talk to because I'd covered them before. And so I reached out to a gentleman who is now in our audience, Bill Reed, and said, could you help us out? And he said, we will do it, but only if we do it our way. We're not just going to make the same trophy over and over again and you put a plaque on it. We want to make what we want to make. You give us the films that are the winners and we're going to interpret it. And I know of no other film festival in the country, maybe not even in the entire world, that does this, where our winners tonight, and Rollin can attest to this because he was one of our winners last year, or maybe Rollin stepped away. He was sitting over there before. Rollin can attest to this, and also Shane can, because Shane won an award last year as well. You not only, there's Shane over there. Hey, Shane. You not only are our winners going to be walking away with cash prizes, but they will be walking away with a one-of-a-kind art piece that is specific to their film. So be sure to stick around. We will be doing that in an hour from now. So Shane, what do you think of the giant fish that you won last year? The gentleman who made it is sitting right there in the cowboy hat. So be sure to thank him for that. Our Something Different Shorts block of 3 films will begin now. Thank you so much for joining us for the 10th Annual Klamath Independent Film Festival.